Hi, my name's Damian. I'm making this video as a result of my dealings with Ian from Whole World of Property, who I've only just recently met as a result of a couple of deals that I've done with him. The first thing I'd say about Ian is the first time I came across him was considering buying a property in Dubai. I've been looking for a property in Dubai for a while, but Ian had properties available that no other developer or middleman, so to speak, could offer. The prices were outrageously good for the specification of the unit that you got and the space that was involved. So I made contact with Ian initially just to ask a few questions. My first thoughts when dealing with Ian were, as most people would be when buying a property abroad for the first time, as it was in my case, is you're worrying about the potential of a scam or potential of someone doing something underhand or any potential issues that you might have and not being able to be there or get there. And of course you have a load of questions in relation to legalities, etc, etc. I initially contacted Ian and he got back to me a couple of times via email really quickly. Always answered my questions, never seemed to dodge the question or avoid it in any way, and was generally really helpful. He then contacted me one evening after I asked a load more questions about the purchase of the unit and spoke to me for a good 45 minutes on the phone and discussed various things that I'd asked him about, which I thought was really nice, really unusual for someone like him to take 45 minutes essentially out of his day when he's clearly quite busy to effectively have a chat to me about my concerns and my issues. So that was really, really, really good. If you've got any concerns about dealing with Ian or you've never dealt with him before, I can 110% recommend him and say that he is a genuine guy. Shortly following on from that, having purchased the Dubai property on an instalment plan, I attended at Ian's International Property Boot Camp at Chelsea Football Club in January 2016. I was quite open-minded in relation to this. Obviously I wasn't sure what was going to come. It was just interesting, an interest that I had, and I've always had, having a bit of experience in property, having a portfolio here in the UK for the last 5 or 6 years, and I wanted to go international and potentially look at doing a bit more along the lines of what Ian currently does, with packaging deals and being the middleman between the seller or a developer and a buyer, and finding potential buyers globally. The first thing that I thought of the course was, first half it was geared around how I could make money and invest and get investments without using my own money, which is very, very hard to do. One of the biggest issues I've had in the past is dealing with banks, and I'm sure many people watching this video will have had the same issue. Banks are an absolute nightmare to deal with. There's no easy way to put it. With the way that Ian showed us how to finance effectively, how to do deals, it completely bypasses the banks, and bar a couple of legalities and a few things that look fairly routine and easy enough to do with minimal cost, you can effectively expand your portfolio quite quickly without any of your own capital or investment or remortgaging any properties or anything like that. So that first half was really, really interesting and great for the investment portfolio side of things, to invest my own money and increase my own portfolio. The second half of the day was all based around more what Ian does, how I can become someone who packages deals with sellers and buyers, developers, and effectively how I can market myself and to start a company basically. And off the back of that, I've come home and in the last 2 weeks I've built my website, some fantastic bits of information from Ian, some fantastic sources of knowledge that I would have never ever had, some fantastic contacts off the back of that I would never have had if I'd not attended at the boot camp. So absolutely well worth the money for me. It's also given me a little bit more knowledge and a bit more know how to approach going forward. And effectively, I'm hoping to leave my full-time job to take up a role dealing with property full-time. Ian, as a person, trustworthy, knowledgeable. He knows property inside out, back to front. He's been doing it for 16 years. Clearly knows what he's doing. Clearly knows what he's talking about, and is clearly a very, very successful person. One of the biggest things for me, though, about Ian is how he's so down to earth. It's very unusual, in my opinion, to meet, or in my experience, to meet someone who clearly does well in life, and time is money, but he's willing so much to give up some of his time to help other people for, effectively no major benefit. He doesn't have to help people get into what he does, and effectively by doing so, some would argue he's introducing competition. But as Ian says himself, there's loads of properties, the world's a big place, so why not? It's really, really unusual. He literally is at the end of a phone any time of the day to pick up, speak to him. If you've got any questions, any queries, even whilst I've been setting up my business, I've been firing things back and forth to him by email and text, and he always gets back, which is a credit. It's something that doesn't happen very often, and I really feel like I can trust Ian if I have any questions, issues, queries, problems. So to recap, if you're thinking of buying a property from Ian, or you've seen something on his website, I would 110% say get in touch with him. If you've got any questions, he'll help you through any queries, and he's got a lot of contacts that can help you with things like bank accounts, tax side of things in different countries, etc. So definitely get in touch with him, and his deals are second to none, in my opinion. And if you're thinking of going to any boot camps, or you're thinking of getting involved in property yourself, whether it be from an investment point of view, or whether it be from starting your own company kind of view, I would 110% again recommend going on one of Ian's boot camps and learning from the man himself, and getting his contacts and his 16 years experience at the end of a phone, basically. Thanks for listening.